Holy moly. Have we done it? Are we doing it? Oh, we're so back. Oh, we're so back. Heyo. What's going on? Howdy. Whew, goodness gracious. What a week it has been. Oh my goodness. Happy Friday. And it is a very well-timed Friday. Could not have come soon enough. That's for damn sure. Oh my goodness. I'm tired, y'all. Hope y'all are having a great week. I missed y'all. Yeah. I think that's about all I've got for first thing this morning. Let me see. I'm not even prepared. I don't have my headphones on. I can't tell if anyone's doing anything. I don't have my books out. Don't know what I'm playing. What are we playing? Probably some excerpts and shit. Probably some Strauss. I need to play it again. Big refresh pull, as the kids say. I've never heard anyone say that. Refresh pull. Yeah. I guess so. Yo, it's poppin'. Good to see you, D-Mac. We had 3 concerts this week. Recital Tuesday, actually, technically just a recital piece. Tuesday, a student composers concert, and then last night we had our Wind Symphony concert. So I'm pretty tired, all things considered. But it's gonna be a nice weekend. A couple of naps probably. Going to bed early. Ooh, I can't wait. Cause I'm old is the thing. The one thing you got to know about me is I'm very old. I don't know if you can necessarily make out all the grays in the temple that are starting to pop up. Yeah, I'm on that 9:30 bedtime life, and honestly, it still seems a little late sometimes. Like I'll be on the couch just hanging out with the girlfriend at like 8 o'clock and dozing off. You know. Many things happening. Very cool. Yeah, it's been busy, a good busy, like for sure. It's just busy. Was the homemade student music any good? Yes, it was actually a very very cool program. I'm gonna see if I can get copies of some of the music because some of it was like really really cool, and I want to play some of the licks. But yeah, no, it was. It was really, really cool. It's unfortunate, I think, that the Wind Symphony class was mostly geared towards our concert last night, right? At the same time, we were preparing the Wednesday concert. So we were doing, I think the director mentioned that we were preparing like 15 or 16 pieces of music between the 2 concerts to be performance ready. Not even everything that we read and tried to play through the semester. So we were like, it was a heavy workload, and I feel like we didn't spend as much time as an ensemble on the student compositions, which is a little unfortunate. I still think they came out pretty well. I think at least for my part, I played them above average. Better than I normally do in practice, but also because I didn't have a ton of time to dedicate to it. I was, doing my own practice for my solo stuff and the Wind Symphony stuff, which quite frankly was just a little bit harder. I had solos in that, so it's like, it's just an unfortunate. Like if we could dedicate even just like a class or 2 extra to that stuff, I think it would have gone over a lot better. There were some very tricky like time changes. Like one of them was in 3/4, switched commonly to 9/8, 6/8, 7/8, back to 3/4, back to 2/2, 3/2, and I think all of that was just in one piece. So it was very very difficult, and the ensemble and the director all being in sync with it sometimes didn't happen. But what are you gonna do? Always fun when young people come out with good tunes. Absolutely, absolutely. We actually have two student composers, at least that I'm aware of. One who we just did their recital for, and another who was also in the horn studio and had a recital the previous week. But it was mostly like chamber stuff as opposed to wind symphony. But what's up, M. Dort? Oh, excellent. Appreciate the reminder. Good to see you. Performance week was long. It's been a long week. Had recital Tuesday for my recital piece on Tuesday, which we're gonna gloss over because that didn't go super well. Yesterday was the Wind Symphony concert, which I think went really pretty dang well. There were a couple things. The horn section, like, can I tell you? So, our director, like, bless his heart, I feel like, sort of glazes over some of the time changes and thinks there are time changes when there are not. Totally understandable. Like, it happens. Unfortunately, one of the times it happened last night was during it was like a Harry Potter suite of music, and it's like it's in 4, right? It's just easy. It's bum, 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 and for some reason this man is conducting it in 3, and so apart from the horn line, the only thing going on is like a timpani, and then the clarinets and all are going, and the horns have to come in and do the like a big, and it's precise. And if we don't, anyways, long story short, I'm counting my rests, and I look up, and this man's on some crazy other beat. I lose my count. The rest of the horn section apparently gets stun locked and follows my lead, and we just don't play that entire, like, oh, it was horrible. It was awful. We came back in and recovered, thankfully, but man, that was disappointing because that's such a cool part too. It's such an epic, like, it's Obliviate is the name of the, I guess, track in Harry Potter. I think it was Order of the Phoenix, maybe, but yeah. So the entire horn section was stun locked for like 8 bars. What are you gonna do? We laugh about it afterwards, but in the moment I was freaking out because I should have just trusted myself. Let me see. I've attended some Rite of Spring rehearsals, and the sacrificial dance is always a challenge. I'm not as, like, I know Rite of Spring. I don't know it well enough to know, like, the sacrificial dance. I gotta look into that. I gotta listen to that again because that's really good. I love Rite of Spring. Yo, Professor, what's up, dude? Good to see you, my friend. It's not your fault. It happens to us all. And that's kind of how I came away from it. In the moment, I was like, very clenched and frustrated with myself more than anything. I didn't know what was going on. And then, upon reflection, it's like, that's pretty funny. It does happen. It's live performance. Things are going to happen. Whatever. Even to me as a conductor, I hope this happens as minimally as possible. We don't have finances to go in person yet, so we're sticking virtual. Yeah, for sure. For sure, dude. And, it's you can only do as well as you can do. And that's something, like, I'm so hard on myself for, like, cracking notes, right? Especially after my rehearsal, because in the moment, I actually thought my recital, I thought that my recital went pretty well in the moment. And then my girlfriend took a video of it, which I am undecided whether or not I want to share it with y'all. So, we're still debating that. Because upon listening and watching the tape, turns out it was actually kind of bad. A lot more cracked notes and bad phrasing and stuff than I remembered in the moment. So I don't know if we're going to do that. But cracked notes, they just kind of happen. You got to just, like, move on. And it sucks because I'd never want to crack a note, but I guess we're just going to have to. Frustration. Been super focused and productive these past few days. Barely recognize myself. Good on you, Professor. Dude, I love to hear it. Hell yeah. What have you been working on? You're in you have finals and academics coming up, right? If I remember correctly. It's the section after the 11 low string temps max. Dang, 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 dang. Hold on. Dang, 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 dang. I think that was 11. After. And then it goes, dom bim bom bow, dom bim bom bow, dom bim bom bim 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 bim. Nah, man, you're thinking beep bop, boo boo bop. You know? I'm picking up what you're putting down. Holy moly. Have we played anything yet? It's been like 10 minutes. I don't think I've played anything for y'all yet. It is going to be one of those days. Were it not for a lesson later on this afternoon, I might take today mostly off. Because, like, holy moly. Let's play some stuff. Let's, Harp Flexi? Excuse me, man. Trying to do all those, that whole series in one breath. That is difficult. That's why you call it warm-ups. I did some translation. Oh, that's right. I remember you were working on those translation projects. Midterm right now. I expect to be done with my homework, schoolwork for the week in almost 3 hours from now. Just have one assignment and a reply to a discussion. Love that, dude. Hell yeah. See it through to the finish line. I am so bad, and I'm sure, you know, this is not for y'all, but just the first thing that came to my mind is like when I'm so close to finishing something, I put off the finishing of that thing until like the due date. Cause I'll work ahead and I'll be like, okay, this is good for, you know, a week out. I'm almost done. And then I don't touch it again until the day it's like due or day before. And it's like, what the fuck was I even doing a week ago when I worked on this? So it's, yeah, one of those things. That's not you. That is my own foible. And also recorded and edited video. Recorded part of another one this morning. Gonna edit a different one today. Dude, you do have a lot of things on the go. My goodness. That's freaking awesome, dude. Hell yeah. Are they are you posting them anywhere? Do you not that, you know, obviously you have to or anything, but if you do, I'd love to check them out. Oh, goodness. Let's grab some ass. No, wait, who said that? Let's grab some music and play some stuff, huh? I haven't touched Strauss since Tuesday. So it's gonna be rough. It's gonna be rough. But juries are next week, and I got to gotta make sure it's still ready to be performed next Friday. YouTube, the video I edited earlier this week went out an hour ago. Say less. We're about to go and hell yeah, get back to YouTube here. Let's go and find. I don't think I know your channel, Professor. Just for the record, now that I'm looking at it. Did you put it in Discord? Because if you put it in Discord, I'll definitely be able to check it. I'm thinking for the recital piece, if I do end up sharing with you guys, which honestly might just be to laugh at my mistakes, which is fair. It's probably going to be like an unlisted or a private YouTube video, and I'll share the link in Discord or something like that, just so it wouldn't be like public. But for those of y'all who want to check it out, that's where that will be shared if I decide to share it. Because also I can't just post it in Discord. I tried to just post it in Discord from my phone. Apparently I need to pay for Nitro to be able to do that, and there's no way in hell I'm doing that. So anyways, all right, let's do some Strauss. Let's see. Put a link in the self-promo section. Hell yeah, dude. We're going to be looking at that as soon as we're done here. Appreciate that, dude. I'm excited. I love... I don't always like comment or, you know, engage just because I am a lurker. That is my default setting. But I do love seeing the discussions and the things that y'all share in Discord. A lot of times I will watch them, think to myself, oh shit, that's really freaking cool, and then like get distracted by something before I have the chance to say, oh shit, that was really cool, you know, good job, and all that. And that's my bad. But I love the things that y'all share is the long and short of it. So oh jeez, there's always water in the banana stand. There's always water in the valves, you know what I'm saying? Oof. It sure was. Okay. All right, let's see what we got. Basically cold on Strauss's first concerto. We'll see. Well, that's something to work out. So, wrong Discord just moved to yours. Oh, I gotcha. Appreciate that. These B flats, every time they hit, are so flat. I don't know why I can't hit them in tune. actually close. I almost... What happens if you use second and third or one on the top B flat? That might be a way to do it. 2 and 3. I've never tried 2 and 3 for the B flat, and I am doing it on the B flat side. I wonder if maybe the F side might be tempered a little better. Let's see. That's a good point. I should think of, if this fingering doesn't work, maybe try a different fingering. Thank you for that, DMAC. That's an excellent point. Okay, F side is way flatter. Yo, 2 and 3 almost like came in and was perfect on the cut. Yo, that might be the way to do it. What's up, Henry? How you doing? Good to see you, my friend. Hope you've had a good week. Oh goodness. Oh goodness, it's been a long one for me. That's for damn sure. F side 2-3. F side 2-3. Yo, great hero at the most unexpected of times. On a B flat of all places. That is about as unexpected as I would have thought. Because I use it sometimes for when I'm doing just like flexibilities, lip slur things. 2-3 can be like a C as well. But I never thought of doing it for honestly, to be honest, and this is why I am so impressed with you, DMAC. I didn't even realize 2-3 could be used for that note. How do you know French horn fingerings better than I do, my friend? How is this a thing? That's crazy. Ooh, that came out so... Oh my god! Yo, that feels good. Now I'm trying to play the D as a D flat, and it's so I gotta. Oh, I don't have my pencil. I left it in the band room, and of course I only have one pencil to my name. That's embarrassing. 2-3. I'm the overtone man. You must be, dude. Holy moly. I really gotta, and that's one thing that I don't know very well is like all the different overtones, harmonic series fingerings for like what 2-3 is above an A flat, because I would never just use 2-3 above an A flat over the staff, right? I gotta get way better at that. And also it's gonna help with, because I'm very bad at stopped horn. fingerings just like on the fly, because you have to like, it's a half step above the chromatic below, or the harmonic below. So if you do a stopped E, right, that's an E, and you stop it, it's actually going to be a C sharp, because the harmonic below is a C, and then half step up is a C sharp. So it would be in concert F sharp. Which it is once fully stopped. Fun stuff. Jumping back in, let me make sure to say there's so much better to use 2-3 for a high concert E flat. It's more in tune for my personal experience. How do y'all know this? Why have y'all not told me this? My B flats have been so bad so long. Y'all didn't think to clue me in a little earlier, stud? I'm just playing. That's apparently common knowledge. I need to get with the program. It comes from my past playing cornet in the brass band. Okay, I gotcha. Sometimes the music is so fast you gotta use harmonic number 7 in weird, unexpected places. I guess so. Harmonic 7. Also, I don't know the numbers of the partials like I should. I think it's because fundamental is 1. So like second, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So that's 8. Something like. Better late than never. I guess so. Couldn't tell you're out of tune. I'm tone deaf. Are you? No. One step further back. 1, 2, 4, 8 are the fundamentals. So, right. So the one I start on is 2. So that's technically you can go an octave lower than that. I just don't really. So that would be 1. 2 is what I played, and then 4. Okay, that makes sense. 1, 2, 4, 8. 1, 2, 4, 8. 1, 2, 4, 8, and probably like what, 16? If the pattern were to continue. Math is fun. 3 and 6 are the fifths. Yes. Okay. I get it. So what I have been doing, for example, are lip trills on 8th and 9th partials. And it could be beneficial to try trilling on the 7th and 8th partials, and then also higher as well on 9 to 10, for example. Okay. 5 is a major third. 5 is the E. Yep. 7 is the lower. Yeah. Because just yep. All right, I'm picking up what you're putting down. It's like the light bulb has turned on. It's clicking. It makes so much sense when just like laid out like that. Huh. Appreciate that, dude. Okay. Let's finish off Strauss 1 for just right now. Make sure I don't have a lesson time yet. Okay. I didn't love that. Dolce was not very dolce. Good playing chops in quite good shape. Thank you, D-Mac. I appreciate that. That's why I do those Carusos every morning within like 15 minutes of waking up. I wake up at 6:30 when the girlfriend leaves for work, brush my teeth. 6:45-ish is when I aim to start playing. 8 o'clock is when I tend to stop playing for the first. So it's basically waking up and just like going for a run, start lifting, or do whatever. My aim is to have chops of steel. I want to be able to, I don't know, crush a golf ball with my chops. Ooh, you know, like a vice something. I don't know. It's probably not something anyone does, but what if? Dude, that's just like right on every time. Holy cow. That's tempered so well. I love that. Do you live on the West Coast or something? Nah, dude, I'm in Florida. I got me a little gator over here. That's my pet. My little pet Albert. Not too far away. I mean, depending. I don't know. It's all relative. If you're also in Florida, I'm not that far away. If you're on the East Coast, I'm not that far away, I suppose. Warm Waterland, yeah, down in hotness. I wish it was, dude. It hasn't rained in like a month. There were wildfire warnings this past weekend. It's crazy. We're not supposed to get rain for another few days. And even then, it's kind of like coin toss whether it's actually going to happen. And that's devastating. We really need some rain. Last year was not a very big rain year for us. But I tell you, as soon as we do, it's going to start lightninging like crazy. Only one pond away. Well, Florida's got a lot of ponds. You know, depending on the size of the pond, could be very close. Hugely rare for Florida. Fires, yes. But like we do have drought seasons. Typically around this time of year, because March, April are typically drier. I think February might also be drier. Winter can be wet, dry spring, and then the summertime we start getting rain every afternoon at like 2 o'clock in the afternoon. Literally, like every day, you can almost set your clock to it for 20 minutes or so. And then, it's just muggy and mosquitoes come out and it's disgusting for the rest of the day. So I'm just waiting for that. My beloved swamp weather is really, I wish that I could focus my camera and that my plants weren't all dying. They're not, but I do have to water them a lot more than I would like. Dang, Florida's an odd place. That's a mouthful. Yeah, it's for so many reasons. Florida's such a weird fucking place. Granted, it's my home. You know, I was born and raised here, but like it's a weird fucking place. You know, you don't have Georgia man or South Carolina man like you got Florida man, you know? You don't even really have like Texas, New York, California, Illinois man. Chicago man you might have. But those are just the Blues Brothers, right? Florida man, you got all kinds, and none of them are good. There's fog all year round? What? Is that pond? So pond like UK? Because that's a very foggy bit, right? Am I forgetting where you're from, DMAC? I apologize. It was in the 80s on Wednesday, and the high for today is going to be about 34. There was snow yesterday. Dude, it's April the 23rd yesterday. How is that possible? That is absurd. I literally cannot fathom having snow in April. I've been in shorts for like 2 months. What the hell? I'm sweating in my... We've reached 777s on the thermostat. What? This is insane. 34-year-old dude discovers weather patterns are different in different parts of the country. Crashes out. Montana man is just mountain man or cowboy farmer. Dude, honestly, kind of based. I love like a good salt of the earth, you know. Like if I had 5 acres, I don't think y'all would ever see me again. I would just like be on my 5 acres and I would just work the land. I say that, you know, obviously for someone with all the modern comforts and amenities and whatever. But like I do have an idealized daydream of just like living on a homestead, off grid, off, you know, whatever, being self-sufficient and you know, doing as much for myself as I can. I think that would be cool. And already I try, you know, I have chickens. I bake my own bread. Not sourdough though, because I just don't care for the taste. I've brewed my own kombucha. We do, I have some microgreens that I could grow whenever I get back around to growing them. There's the concepts of a self-sufficiency. How is that possible? Answer Montana. I guess, dude. You never hear as much about like crazy fun like weather stuff, aberrations in Montana, or at least I don't in Florida. But that's really cool. Coastal Norway. Okay, I gotcha. So imagine a Scotsman telling an Englishman that England is dry, then imagine a coastal Norwegian telling the Scotsman that Scotland is dry. Okay, hold on. There's a lot of layers here that I need to parse. So a Scotsman telling an Englishman that England is dry. That's absurd. Okay. Then a coastal Norwegian telling the Scots, no way. Really? By comparison, that's like, we do have summer, it's very nice, but yeah, it's indeed foggy here. Holy cow. My, like, first thought whenever you said, like, super foggy, did you not, were you to have, if you had not said across the pond, first thing I would have thought of was like Pacific Northwest, like Seattle and up there, because it gets like rainy, foggy, pretty dreary a lot of the times of the year, is my understanding. But I didn't realize that coastal Norway, I was going to say coastal Norwegian was the same. That coastal Norway was had that sort of weather. That's really freaking cool. If I had land, I would be outside so much more. I hear you, dude, because like I've only got like a 1/4 acre. My mom, I grew up on 10.5. So like she just sold that property 1.5, 2 years ago, somewhere in there. And I'm kind of like, dang, kind of probably should have taken advantage of that while we had the chance. Because now we just have a 1/4 acre and there's a lot less you can do on a 1/4 acre. But you can still do stuff. I've got like fruit trees in the garden, and I'm planting a lot of native plants, and I got a bed of just sweet potatoes that are gonna that vine out and feed the chickens, and then, you know, grow a whole lot of sweet potatoes, because sweet potatoes, they do really well in the dead of summer, as do like okra Malabar spinach, Egyptian spinach, Malokia stuff. You know, you got to grow the right things in Florida. Everglades tomatoes are really good. Seminole pumpkins. Getting insanely windy here. I would, yeah, like the plains parts, even the mountains, because that's going to create wind turbulence for all the kind of stuff. Yeah, I could totally see that. Again, it was windy here too. That was this last weekend. It was like 20+ mile an hour winds, humidity down in the 30s or something, which is unheard of. No rain for like a month, and there were like 4 separate wildfires 40 minutes north of here. So yeah, it was a bad time here. It was like very smoky. Like you stepped outside, you could immediately like, ugh. It's probably similar to Upper Western Canada without having been there. That's yeah, that is my perception as well. Sort of Pacific Northwest kind of thing. Sweet potatoes. I planted a sweet potato once here for fun, and it did not survive. It's tough without. I don't know about if there's like certain cultivars that are good for not as hot and humid environments, but they absolutely love the weather down here when it gets hot as hell and humid as hell. They just keep on chugging. So it might just not have been hot enough, which is kind of a good problem to have, I suppose. We almost bought a 30-acre property, but the house was trashed. Dude, I mean, at that point, yeah. I like to say we'll just build a new house. It's that simple, right? I was talking to my mom actually just about you know, a common daydream that I've discussed with my family and with my girlfriend and everything is like, if ever someone was to come up with like 20 acres or something remotely, we would like bifurcate it into 4 or 5 parcels, put, you know, a couple cottages on each one, and then just like have a, you know, little compound of, you know, myself, my mom, my younger brother, my, you know, me and my girlfriend, and, you know, families and friends and everyone like-minded, trying to, you know, compound. You know, sounds scary, but it's just like we want to live next to each other and not deal with bullshit like the, you know, not like the government. I'm going a little off the deep end here. Anyways, normal potatoes thrive here, but sweet potatoes break like a glacier in the Sahara. Yeah, I can totally see that. And honestly, normal potatoes, I haven't had a whole lot of luck with here in Florida, just because you have to have them in the ground by like Valentine's Day, which is super, super early. And then by the time, like, you can get a crazy weird frost in March that kills them off. And then April can be hotter than hell and actually like too hot for them, and then no water. So you got to like irrigate your potatoes, and they're supposed to be just sort of a leave it and forget it crop. But normal crops that you would like leave and forget, and then they're supposed to just thrive, don't always thrive in Florida, because it's such a different climate than you might think. Anyways, that's a lot of gardening talk, and I love it. I absolutely love this gardening talk, for the record. I gotta play some stuff. Let's see. That's close enough. Let me see. They're definitely quite leave and forget here. Just got to make sure there are a few weeds bothering them. Yeah, and I've tried doing them in like buckets, grow bags, just like containers, so they're not in ground. And for those, I have been too bad about making sure they get enough water, especially this part of the season where it's stupid dry, and they're not getting enough rain. So it's like, but yeah, I should be better about them. Try sunchokes, very similar to potatoes. I haven't tried them yet. Should look into them a little more. Yeah, Jerusalem artichokes, right? I've heard of, and I looked into them a little bit. I remember getting conflicting information. Like on the one hand, I saw that they did well in Florida, and on the other hand, I saw that they didn't do well at all in Florida. So I just need to I also need to look into them a little bit more, because I've heard that they go absolutely insane and to potentially being like not invasive, but very aggressively spreading. But I mean, if that's the case and it's food, that's like the exact thing that I want. I have if you're familiar with amaranth, it's an ancient grain. It's like the variety I have is called callaloo. I think it's very popular in the islands like Jamaica, Bahamas, and it loves the heat, and it seeds so prolifically that I planted literally one plant, and now there's on all parts of my garden. I just walk around, it's like, oh, there's a little amaranth, and everywhere it pops up, it's food. That's like, those are the kind of plants that I really love to fill my yard with, because like I can just go out and like forage my own yard for food that reseeds itself, and I never have to like do anything. That's the good shit. And the chickens love it too, which is a very, very good benefit. And it's basically impossible to kill. Amaranth is incredible, for the record. Should all be planting more wild and native grains. I should put a gardening section in Discord. That's an excellent idea. You know what? I'm not going to do it now just because I don't want to open it up, but yes. Yes. I've heard about it recently. Dude, and it's so good. For the callaloo specifically really, really, really loves the heat and humidity that we get down here. So it's one of the it's a really good spinach, leafy green substitute that we can have grow in between May and August, which is like nothing else grows. Malabar spinach we can do, which is not even a true spinach, and very mucilaginous. It's like, I don't love the texture of it. It's a little slimy, but it has to be because that's its heat resistance, right? So it's, you take the good with the bad, but you can wilt it down, and it's not like you wouldn't use it like a fresh spinach. You would use it, my understanding, because I don't grow it all that much because I don't love it. But you would cook it down, do it like a sautéed sort of thing, and it's supposed to be really good. But mucilaginous is a good word. It's a great word, dude. I love it, and that's why I hate okra. For the record, I grow incredible okra, but I fucking hate it because it's that same mucilaginousness. Okay. Dude, native plants are the way. Native plants are the way, and the life and the everything. I have been trying to replace my lawn. I'll go and I'll take a picture. This is what I'll do this afternoon before my lesson. I'll go and take a picture of my backyard for y'all, because right now it's basically overrun with two plants more than anything. Virginia pepperweed and Ohio spiderwort, both of which are natives, both of which are fully edible. The Virginia pepperweed, also I think called poor man's pepper, is pepper in the sense of like mustard. It is a native brassica, and it's food everywhere it pops up. I don't eat them. I like the flowers, and they're great host plant, but I'll pick them up and feed them to chickens, and they take over the yard. Like, it's perfect. And then the Ohio spiderwort is really cool. It has these little triangular or diamondy shaped blue-purple flowers. And they only bloom in the morning up until about 2 or 3 in the afternoon, you can pick them off and brew them into a tea. The bees, like I'll go outside at about like 8:30, and all you hear is just all over the place because they love that shit so much. And that's another very it's an edible plant, although again a bit mucilaginous for my taste. But I've never tried ochre, not sure if I'd appreciate it. Apparently there are ways to get it less slimy. The ways I have tried have been unsatisfactory to my palate, is what I'll say. But my wife doesn't want me to turn our yard into a native plant area. She's dead set on turf. That's unfortunate. That's very unfortunate. Thankfully I have not met resistance from my significant other, because what it means, so my yard has 2 stages. One is those natives that pop up and I want to, allow them to spread and be host plants for butterflies and pollinators and all that kind of stuff. And the other is the ground cover. And the ground cover that I'm trying to work on propagating in my yard is, if you've ever heard of frog fruit, also known as, I think, the matchstick plant, or scientifically it's Phylla nodiflora. And it's really just a wonderful plant. It spreads out. It takes over. I've had it. This is now the 3rd year in the backyard, and it's spreading so much. And it puts up these delicate little matchstick flowers. It's a host plant for 3 different butterflies, at least, and you don't have to mow them. That's the thing, is you never have to mow. They get like 4 inches. 4 inches, yeah, right. They get We're just gonna move past that. They only get like 4 to 6 inches tall ever, and they don't give stickers. That's the thing. I love native plants, but if you have a sticker, you are my worst enemy. Chickweed, Biden's alba, and I know it as beggar's lice. I don't know the actual name for it, but those are the worst, because they'll just stick to you, and then you go and you have to pick them off, and it's just so annoying. But so those I'm on a crusade against, and they're impossible to get rid of. Like the beggar's lice especially, I'll have to find out what it actually is. But you pull it up, and it's got roots that go all over the place. It's got a taproot 14 inches deep, and it's like, holy shit, I'm never gonna get rid of this one. Let's see, dandelions, clover, and yarrow are tasty. See, I've never actually tried to eat dandelion greens or the roots. I know you can do good stuff with the roots as well. Clover, I know, are legumes. I didn't know that probably some are edible. That makes sense. I've never tried those. Yarrow is one that I really want to get. I really need to get in my yard, because I've heard nothing but good things about yarrow, and I really, really want to, especially for the flowers. Right? It's like the sort of umbrella shaped, like yellow flowers, if I remember right. Maybe yellow and white, but like really, really good. I gotta get those. My mother-in-law and I have talked about caring for bees. My wife is allergic. I get that. My girlfriend is very not. She doesn't fuck with the bees and the wasps like I do. She gets stung. I don't tend to get stung, and I totally get that. So yeah, I need to figure out a way to make sure my garden is not as overflowing with buzzy bees, because she doesn't like that as much. But sideways roots are bothersome. Sideways, it's yes and no, like, because sideways roots that are strong enough to like pull them all out. Virginia creeper is one that we have here. It's a vine that, like, I want to say the indigenous peoples literally used it as a rope, because the part that comes up and starts like trawling up stuff is one thing. You pull it off, and then you pull it up through the rest of your yard that's dug underground, and it's just like it just keeps coming, and it don't stop 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 coming, sort of a thing. But like the other ones that are not as strong and they just like break off sideways, those fucking suck. And especially when you pair those with a taproot that goes down so that it can, spread out, but you don't get the one that's all that, it's just going to come back. It's a never-ending struggle. But it's the good struggle or something. Maybe. I need to go read Lord of the Rings. Yes. Yes. This is absolutely true. Get on that. You should be doing that right now as we speak. Why are you still here? What time do you think we have? Your love of the halfling's leaf has clearly slowed your mind. Etc., etc. Yeah. I think that was the right quote. Okay. Man, this has been, and honestly, I was just about to say this has been one of the least amount of practice, one of the sessions of practice with the least amount of actual practice. But honestly, on a week like this, I'm kind of for it. It's been a long week. I am very tired. But let us not just leave it there. You know what? I haven't played Mahler 3 all the way excerpt in a while. I work on the low stuff, rehearsal 56, a lot, but I don't play it in context. So let's try it in context. This is the fourth horn excerpt for the first movement of Mahler's Third Symphony. Not to be confused with the third horn excerpt of the first movement of Mahler's Third Symphony, which also is on an audition list for an orchestra in Virginia that I have kind of been thinking about taking, but I doubt I will. Anyways, that's neither here nor there. Partial too high. This one might have some alternate fingerings that could be tempered a little better as well. What doesn't happen is that after the whole I don't even know what this key is supposed to be. Is it E minor? It has to be E minor, right? Yeah. I guess that makes sense then. But after going through the arpeggio, having the G and low E, I don't know why, but they just don't sound, they're not as reliable, we'll say. Okay, so now let's try it with some context. Better. Yo, what's up, content? No apologies necessary, for uploadable content is neither early nor late, but they arrive precisely when they mean to. Good to see you, dude. Hope you're having a good week. Whew. It has been a long week over here. I just finished. Last night was my third performance in 3 days. And I am feeling it. I tell you what. That's not bad. I'm just now realizing, so this book, and I think I've talked about this before, this Mastering the Horns Low Register, there's an exercise in here that Dr. Gardner, maybe not doctor, my apologies, that Mr. Randy C. Gardner calls slides, where it's basically just, it's you move the pitch to the next pitch without changing fingerings, essentially. It's how, in Mahler 1, the third movement, when you have the Frere Jacques in minor. One way that I have found to really, really get that octave slur from F to F has been to do it as a slide on open. So normally when I play this one, I do F side first valve for the high one, and then open on the B flat side for the low, and that helps. Switching fingerings helps for the octave slur to sound to be more reliable and secure. But if you do it just with on the trigger on the B flat side and just do it like this, and what I was never able to do until just probably like a week, maybe it's even been this week, last 2 weeks at most. But I've never been able to keep my lips buzzing as I descend there. So with that, all of a sudden, and it's still something that I'm kind of working on, but at least now you can see sort of the baby step incremental progress that's happening there. And with that, all of a sudden, the octave slur is so much more secure. And especially at a quiet dynamic, this is I forget if it's marked piano or pianissimo, but it's quiet. Either way, it's quiet as hail. Pianissimo. Pianissimo! Gustav, what were you thinking? He can't keep getting away with this, is the thing. Obviously something, still needs practice, but like, it's not too bad. Man, I tell you what. I think that's about all I got in me for today. I need to make sure that I save some chops for my lesson and then have some more practice later on. I might take a nap, y'all. I'm really tired. A nap sounds incredible. Once I for sure have a lesson time, because I don't know that I currently right now do. And that would suck to sleep through. But with that said, I'm going to go and get some lunch, take a picture of my backyard so y'all can see what I'm talking about. It's going to be messy, but we're going to have a gardening channel in Discord, and I'm going to watch your video, Professor. Hell yeah. So I think that's going to do it for me. Hope y'all have a wonderful rest of your the weekend. Also, next week, while I'm thinking about it, I have performances Monday and Thursday. I have a long dress rehearsal on Tuesday, so probably no stream Tuesday. The schedule tentatively will be Wednesday, Friday. Friday will be after juries. Wednesday is just a day that I don't have a performance. So that's going to be the plan for tentatively right now. So dang, it's going to be a while before I see y'all again. But I hope y'all have a great time in the meantime. Stay safe. Stay cool. Stay warm. Stay dry. Stay moist. I don't know. Stay something. Stay sunny. Stay golden, pony boy. And I'll see y'all later. Bye. See ya.